Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Yesterday in Baseball. My name is Luke and we've got a lot of fun action for you today. Per usual with this time of year, there's a lot of wild card shuffling happening, some really great pitching performances. And it is Thursday, so we've got our Thursday injury episode. Kind of a rough time of the year for injuries as pretty much everything is season ending, so hopefully no bad implications for those playoff teams. And then we've got a new team that clinched, so lots to cover today, lots to get into, and I'm looking forward to it. So without further ado, we'll travel up to Pittsburgh and recap our first game from Wednesday. The Chicago Cubs had a great day in Pittsburgh, and they've got a head of steam as they won 8-4 against the Pirates. The Cubs clinched a postseason berth for the first time since 2020. They're likely not going to win the NL Central, but they should be able to secure a home field advantage for the wild card series, so that's good for them. The Cubs put up 4 in the first inning thanks to some back-to-back jacks from Ian Happ and Moises Ballesteros. Pittsburgh tied it up, but then Chicago put up 3 in the 6th and 1 in the 8th to get the 8-4 victory. The Reds beat the Cardinals 6-2 in St. Louis Wednesday afternoon. The hot and cold offense of the Reds continues. Spencer Steer had a big day, going 3 for 4 with a homer and 5 RBI, and Brady Singer gave up only 1 across 5.2 innings. The Reds get the win over the Cardinals and take the series 6-2. The Orioles got the victory over the White Sox 3-1. Tyler Wells had a solid outing for the O's, going 6 innings, 1 earned run, and Dylan Beavers continues to be great as he hit a 2-run homer yesterday afternoon. Big stuff from that rookie. Baltimore wins 3-1. San Francisco salvaged the last game of the set, beating the D-backs 5-1 in extras. Now this game was incredibly bizarre, probably one of the most bizarre games I've ever seen. Brandon Pfaadt threw 9 innings of 1-hit, no-run baseball, so typically a complete game shutout there. Justin Verlander went 7 innings of scoreless baseball, and both teams were tied until the top of the 11th. Where then the Giants erupted for 5 runs, and then the D-backs scored 1 in the bottom of the 11th, but they came up short. I mean, Giants won a really weird one, 5-1 in 11, and I mean, crazy stuff from Pfaadt, and bummer for him that they couldn't even get the victory as a team. The Braves completed the sweep of the Nationals, winning 9-4 in Washington. Matt Olson hit yet another homer. He notched his 28th of the season. He's so close to, I think it was 6 straight games, but he had that triple in yesterday's second game. The Braves have won 5 straight, and they won 9-4 on Wednesday. Cleveland got the 4-0 win over Detroit. Gavin Williams racked up 9 strikeouts and 5 scoreless innings of work, and Cleveland scored 4 off of the 3 RBI singles. The Guardians now sit only 2.5 games out of the wild card as they beat the Tigers 4-0. Boston got back at the A's, beating them 5-4 in 10 innings. Boston was down 1 entering the 6th, but Trevor Story's RBI single leveled things. And Story had a big stolen base, as he's had 31 stolen bases to start the season, and he hasn't gotten caught a single time, which is an AL record. In the bottom of the 9th, Nick Sogard walked it off thanks to a fielder's choice. This walk-off was the 11th walk-off the Red Sox have had all year. That's nearly 25% of their home victories. So if you live in Boston and want an exciting game, they're happening. Red Sox get the win 5-4. The Rays finally got back in the win column as they got a 2-1 win over Toronto. Tampa went up in the first on a Yandy Diaz RBI single. Toronto struck back, tying it up. Then Chandler Simpson had a go-ahead RBI single in the 7th. Tampa starter Ian Seymour had a great outing on the bump. He went 7 scoreless, giving the Rays a 2-1 victory. The Padres get a big win over the Mets 7-4. Manny Machado hit a huge grand slam to help boost the offense. The entirety of the Mets offense came from 4 solo home runs. Fortunate for them, though, as they left 7 runners on and couldn't get any of those homers done with anyone on base. The Mets are hanging on by a thread on that last wild card spot as they only have a 1.5 game lead over Arizona. Padres beat New York 7-4. The Royals had a nice come-from-behind win to beat the Mariners 7-5 Wednesday. Salvi hit a big 3-run homer in the first in what was a nice 2-out rally. The Mariners fought back, though. Geno Suarez hit a big homer, and J.P. Crawford hit a go-ahead homer in the 8th that looked like it'd seal it for Seattle. But Adam Frazier hit a go-ahead homer in the bottom of the 8th to help secure the win. Royals beat the Mariners 7-5. The Yankees put up a heap of runs again, beating the Twins 10-5. And I feel like every time we talk about a Yankees win, Trent Grisham hits 2 homers. So what did he do yesterday? He hit 2 homers and knocked in 4. Aaron Judge went 3 for 4 with a double as well. Cody Bellinger hit his 29th of the year. Their offense is absolutely rolling right now as they beat the Twins 10-5. The Brewers show no signs of slowing down after clinching as they won 9-2 over the Angels. Brandon Woodruff was solid. He went 5 innings, giving up only 1. Taylor Ward tried his best to carry the Angels as he went 3 for 4 with a pair of homers, but not much of a match for the Brewers' electric offense. Sal Frelick hit a big 3-run homer, and Blake Perkins had a triple with 5 RBI. Those 2 guys accounted for 8 of the 9 runs driven in. It'd be fun to see the Brewers go on a run here. Every team, recently they've just focused so much on the power and the slug. But it seems like the Brewers are kind of a scrappy, fundamental team, and it would be interesting to see what effect that would have on the league if they went far and even possibly won a World Series. But anyways, Brewers get the win, 9-2. Houston retook sole possession of the AL West with a 5-2 victory over the Rangers. Houston got on the board early and often as they put up 5 runs on Jacob deGrom. Jose Altuve hit his 28th of the year, which was a surprise to me. I didn't know he had that many. Jeremy Pena had a nice day at the dish, going 2 for 4 with a homer and a double. Houston sweeps Texas, likely knocking the Rangers out of their playoff contention. Like I said, Houston regains control of the AL West and wins 5-2. The Marlins beat the Rockies 8-4. The first thing I want to do is apologize to Mickey Moniak. I was talking about the Rockies yesterday and the bright spots in their season, and I forgot to mention Mickey Moniak, who's had an absolute breakout this year. And he did that. He called me out by hitting 4 homers in the last 3 games, so shame on me. On the Marlins side, Augustin Ramirez hit a 2-run homer that kept Miami looking good. Perhaps the Rockies, need to take some advice from Miami. A lot of the fans there haven't been satisfied with all of the turnover of players, but you got to give them credit. They're playing well this year. They'll probably play well again next year. Rockies just don't have any sort of hope like the Marlins do, unfortunately, at least in the near future. Regardless, though, Miami gets the victory, 8-4. Now on to the last matchup of the evening, which yet again was Dodgers and Phillies. The Dodgers fight off the sweep as they get the win 5-0. Blake Snell was on a mission yesterday. He went 7 innings of scoreless baseball. He struck out 12. In the bottom of the 7th with 2 on and 2 out, Dave Roberts walked out of the dugout and made the call to the pen, but Blake Snell refused to come out, making Alex Vesia run back to the bullpen. And then on his 112th pitch of the night, Snell got his 12th K, so that was pretty electric. On the Phillies side, Luzardo threw another Michaelis, going 7 innings, 4 runs, and Ohtani hit his 51st homer of the season, helping the Dodgers get the win 5-0, and helping them keep pace above the Padres. That's all the action we have from Wednesday's games. Now let's go ahead and dive into our injury news. Now let's start off with the guys who unfortunately had to hit the IL or miss some time. Jose Quintana on the Milwaukee Brewers. He's got a strained left calf. He got put on the 15-day IL. He's done for the regular season, but they're hopeful that he'll return for the postseason. Will Smith of the Dodgers with a right hand contusion on the 10-day IL. He likely won't return on his IL return date, but he's going to face some live hitting coming up, and they'll try to have him back before the end of the regular season. It should be good to go for the playoffs. And Trey Turner, strained right hamstring, has been on the 10-day IL. He could return next week, and he's on track to be healthy in time for the postseason, so that's all good for them. But now let's go ahead and cover the much better side, players returning from injury. Starting off, we got Isaac Paredes on the Houston Astros. He had a hammy strain. He's been out, I'm pretty sure, since early July. He's rehabbing, and he could return within the upcoming days. So that'll be good for Houston. It'll be interesting to see where they slot him in. They've got a pretty full infield, and I guess Jordan just hit the IL himself. So they will likely have him DH, I guess. Now we have Cole Reagans on Kansas City. He just returned and made his first start since early June last night. He had a rotator cuff strain. He was okay. 3.2 innings, 2 earned. Definitely seen better from him, but first start back in a long time. He has some good velo. He has some good strikeouts working, so not too worried about him. And hopefully for the Royals, and he's one of my favorite players, hopefully he gets back to full strength for next season. And then Nick Mears on Milwaukee, relief pitcher. He had a back injury. He wasn't great in his first relief appearance back last night. Gave up a homer in 1 inning, but just a solo shot. But with McGill out for the Brewers, it'll definitely be nice for them to get some extra reinforcements in the back end of their bullpen. That's all the injury news we have for this week, barring anything crazy happening today or tomorrow. Now let's go ahead and see who's the player of the day for Wednesday. This guy was probably not as happy as he probably should be feeling after yesterday. Brandon Pfaadt went 9 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 1 hit. And that's about as good of a day as you can have on the mound. Complete game shutout, essentially. But this was a very bizarre game as it went 11 innings, and it was scoreless through 10. So, I mean, really a bummer for him. They're in a position that's really making a push. They're pushing to catch the Mets. The Mets lost yesterday. You get a guy that goes 9 scoreless and still can't even get the win. So I'm sure they'll come back poised and ready to go tomorrow as they start a series on Friday against Philly. That's going to be tough for them. But, I mean, if they're hot, they're meant to be in the playoffs, they'll get the job done. But enough about that. Brandon Pfaadt, excellent performance. Essentially a complete game shutout. Fortunately with a loss, but he's our player of the day for Wednesday, and he deserves some love after that performance. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of our action coming up today. We've got Cleveland and Detroit. They start at 1:10 Eastern Time. We have Bybee versus Skubal on the bump. Should be a fun matchup. Cubs and Cincy at 7:15 Eastern Time. Cincy needs to win games still, and the Cubs just clinched, so we'll see. And then San Francisco at LA at 10:10 Eastern Time. Logan Webb versus Yamamoto. That should be an exciting matchup. And again, San Francisco, they need to win. Dodgers need to keep pace, and should be a good pitcher's duel. So lots to look forward to today. That's everything we've got for you guys from Wednesday's action and from Thursday's show here. We'll be back tomorrow morning with another episode. Talking about all the action for today. It's getting really exciting, really fun. So no shortage of things to talk about, which is exciting. If you're new here, please feel free to follow on Spotify. We've got a YouTube now if you want to follow along there. Rate the show, leave a comment, whatever it may be. Helps out a lot. Thank you guys. I appreciate all of you, and enjoy some baseball today. See ya.